What's up, guys? My name's Todd Golder. Today I'm going to show you how to take your bass tone from sounding like this to this. All while using Joey Sturgis Tone's Hellraiser. Let's get into it. All right, today we are working in Logic Pro 10. This is a simple template that I set up not too long ago. For pre-production purposes, anytime inspiration strikes, I can just open up this session. I can start playing, start tracking. I don't have to worry about dialing in any tones. It's nothing crazy, but I did spend enough time on it to make it sound like a decent mix. I'll get right into it with the bass here. This is a simple pattern that I wrote. It's a chug pattern. I already cut out all the gaps in the playing to make it nice and tight and get a better representation of what this is going to sound like as a final product. I'll go ahead and give you the dry bass DI signal. Here it is. Not the best signal, not the worst. I decided to roll with it to show you what you can do without the best source material just within this plugin. It's pretty minimal. So there it is on its own. First in the chain, I have a channel EQ here. I rolled off some of the low end. I swept through and found some frequencies here that were all bugging me. I took those out, and then I boosted some of these higher frequencies to add in a little bit more presence that I thought was lacking in the original signal. Here it is without it. And here it is with it. All right, not doing much, but it's definitely helping. After that, I'm going into the CLA 76 compressor from Waves. It initially has a very fast attack. I dialed it back a little bit. I just like the bite and the vibe that this compressor adds, especially for bass. I got a 4-to-1 ratio happening here. And not too much gain reduction, but definitely some of these higher transients are being taken out. You can see about 5 dB. Here it is without it. And here it is with it. Really just taming some of those transients and overall just smoothing out the whole sound, making it nice and consistent like a bass should sound. All right, and then we go straight into bassforge Hellraiser here. Right out of the box, all these knobs are going to be set to 50, which is right down the middle. I already kind of dialed it in to the point where I like it, so I'll go ahead and show you what that sounds like. All right, I pulled off some of the gain, added in a little bit of bass. Scooped the mids because I felt like they were fighting with the guitars. Added in some treble. But this clank knob is where the magic happens. Let me show you what happens if this is all the way down. All right, sounds decent. Check this out. Right about there, I think is great. It just adds that modern sound. It gives it that edge that you hear in so many new recordings nowadays, all within just one knob. I think it's an awesome feature. I absolutely love it. And then you have these two switches. I have them both on. Enhanced sub, obviously, is going to give it some more subharmonic frequencies. Here it is with it off. Sounds great with it off. There it is on. It just kind of beefs it up a little bit more. This tone is definitely heavy on those lower frequencies, but I really like the way it sounded like that with this mix, so I left it. All right, Raise Hell. I have this on. Here it is with it off. There's definitely a situation where you'd want that sound. It's a little thinner, a little lighter, but when you turn that on, it's just huge. It's beefy, it punches, it cuts through, it's not too bunchy. I absolutely love it. First in the signal path, I have this bypass here, but this is the Demon Fuzz pedal. This is an awesome pedal. I absolutely love it. You can use this in a lot of different situations, not only just for bass, but for guitar. But I have this bypassed. I didn't need it in this situation. This whole thing is pretty simple. Like I said, I really just have the amp and the compressor over here engaged. But we do have cab emulation if you'd like. I'll go ahead and turn this on and show you what it sounds like. The most commonly used one that I see is the JST matched cab. This is what it sounds like. And Joey Sturgis modeled this after what his bass tone sounds like on most of his recordings. It's that classic Joey Sturgis sound. And you're able to have that just with the click of a button here. There's no mic options. That's all you need. But then you can go into like an Ampeg 8x10 here, for instance. Mess around with these different mics. And then you got the JST Big Boy. I actually kind of like the sound of this setup right here. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to bypass it. That just sounds huge. Sounds beefy to me. I love it. Next in the chain, which I also have bypassed, is the parametric EQ. I don't find that I really need this in this situation, but it's an awesome tool to have within one plugin, so you don't have to pop one up after or before this. Uh, I just don't really need it, so I have it bypassed. And then here is an awesome feature in this plugin. It's a dual band compressor, something that you'd normally have to put in after the chain, have a whole nother plugin running, but you can do this all right in the box, which is such a cool feature. So you use this crossover knob essentially. It's set to 250, which I think it comes out of the box set at, which is fine with me. I thought that was a good place to have it. So anything below 250 hertz will be compressed on this side of the plugin. Any frequencies above 250 hertz are going to be compressed on this side of the plugin. So you can compress those separately, which is a really, really nice feature to have, especially for bass. I'll go ahead and solo the lower frequencies for you. Anyway, as you can see, I squashed it. It's completely set. There's so much gain reduction happening, and then I added it back in some gain to make it a level signal. But I just really wanted that low end to be super consistent with every hit, just really filling out the mix the entire time. And then moving into this side, I don't really have this compressed as much, just a little bit. And then I just have this gain knob adjusted to where it sounds good. Right there sounds good to me. You can do a limiter as well here with this switch. I like the vibe of the compressor better, so I left it like that. And finally, the last feature, which is an awesome feature as well, is a parallel compressor, essentially. It's this mix knob right here. So with this all the way at 0, you're not going to get any compression. Essentially, you're bypassing the compressor. And then by turning this up, you're mixing the compressed signal with the original signal, which you never really would have thought about on bass. At least I wouldn't have, but it's a really nice feature to have, and I actually kind of like it. I have it set around 80. I found is a nice place to have it with some of that original coming through, but mostly compressed. And there it is. That's pretty much the tone right there. Pretty simple. After this, I don't have much going on. I just have one more channel EQ here to take out some of that low end. It was just getting a little bit too boomy for me, so I took that out. And I found a few more annoying frequencies that were really bugging me. I can actually show you those really quick. So I'll take off both of these channel EQs. The one ringy frequency that is really sticking out to me is this 1K here. I'll show you what that sounds if I boost it. Alright, that is just bugging me. Even with this just off and neutral, it's sticking out. I don't like it. So I took that out. Same with all these frequencies over here. And then lastly in the chain here, I just have one more EQ just to scoop out some of these mids, again, that we're fighting with the guitars. Just kind of cleans it up a little bit more, and that is really about it. I'll go ahead and show you what this sounds like in the full mix. There you have it, guys. A super awesome, beefy tone that cuts through the mix. So easy to dial in. You don't have to do much. The plugin does all the work for you. I honestly give this a 10 out of 10. I'm going to be using this in all my mixes from now on for metal. Joey Sturgis, you did an awesome job, man.